Hello, my friends, and welcome to another collection inventory stream. I hope we're almost there. I hope we've almost got everything inventoried. It's been such a long process, and I really want to have everything in the collection cataloged by the beginning of October. I don't know that I'm going to have it done by Friday, but maybe I'll finish up the last of it on Friday if I'm really lucky. We'll see how it goes. I've got PlayStation, Xbox, and NES. A couple, different versions of each of those consoles left to do. I'm going to try to get through all of my PlayStation 2, etc., Xbox 360 games today. But we'll see. We'll see how it goes. I'm going to work on this for about 2 or 3 hours. Loose and Jelly, good to see you. And Mile High Rule, welcome to the stream. Glad to have you here. So yeah, if you just want to hang out, I'm just going to be plugging away at this, and we can see. We'll see how far I get. Do I have the collection posted online? I do. It's not perfectly up to date. It lags a little bit behind the streams, but you can find it here. I've been using VG Collect, another streamer that I like, uses this site. It's pretty good. So far we've got 600 games inventoried, I think. Yeah. And there's somewhere, I think, between 200 and 300 left. I've got, it looks like I've got just under 1,000 games. Like maybe in the 8 to 900 range. Alright, I'm just going to move a few things around, and then we'll get the camera switched, and it's off to the races. Okay, and I'll go ahead and give my my warning that I've been giving lately here. If you're a really hard-nosed collector, this may horrify you, but most of my discs, like the overwhelming majority, like 98% of them, are loose. I don't have cases for a lot of my disc-based games. You're going to be just, they're in sleeves. You're just going to be seeing me set them out. So, if that horrifies you, there's nothing I can do about it. If you, when you move as much as I have moved, sacrifices must be made. And unfortunately, my game cases were the primary victim of these sacrifices. I still have the manuals and some of the inserts, but don't have the cases anymore. Ban Frownie, I know. I warned you, I'm a monster. And so I got this Xbox game here too. So I bought an original Xbox, like, I don't know, something like 10 years ago. And it's just been sitting in a box, in storage, being, you know, shuffled around again and again. I never hooked it up because I never had a controller for it. So that I never saw any point. But I got a controller recently, and I hooked it up for the very first time, and I discovered it had a game in it all these years. NCAA 06 football. But we're not working on Xbox games just yet, so that can just hang out somewhere off to the side. Oh, first up is the Da Vinci Code. I actually pulled this one out last time, but it had, it says disc 1 on it, and I don't have a disc 2, so, but I did my research, and it doesn't appear that the game actually has a disc 2, so why they printed disc 1 on a disc with no disc 2 is a greater mystery than probably any of them that are in the game. So what I'm using an app called Collection Manager. I think it's made for like people to inventory their wine collections, because there are wine bottles on the icon. Oh, I like this song. This song reminds me of a song from Fraggle Rock. But you can take a picture of an item as you list it into your collection. You can separate collections into different types. And you can add metadata, so I can, you know, put whether or not I have a manual or a box for a game, something like that. It's not a great app. It doesn't allow you to, like, move things around very easily. And if you make a mistake, correcting it is a major pain, so I wouldn't recommend this app to anyone. But I started off using it, and I got really deep in, and so now I'm stuck with it. I'm committed. I'm not going to duplicate all the work that I've put in. I'm just going to live with this app until it's time to upgrade my device. I do the same thing. I turned 6 boxes of games and movies into one box with like 6 binders, yeah. So I keep some of my games in like binders, but then I've also got these like boxes with individual sleeves that are really nice, like sort of high-end type things, or at least they seem that way to me. You know, maybe I'm a bad judge, who knows? But they're like metal reinforced, got really nice sleeves. So I use those for a lot of my games, as many as I can fit, but those that won't fit into the boxes go into binders, and I just try to take good care of them as best I can do. For a long time, I'd flattened out and saved the like inserts, just like I saved the manuals, but at some point, I think I ended up tossing the inserts, because I was just like, this, you know what, this is just an extra box. These don't affect the gameplay in any way. They gotta go. I try to be very Spartan in my collecting. You know, I want functional discs, I want functional cartridges. A manual is nice when I can get it, but you can find most of them online, so it's not really necessary. The box doesn't affect gameplay at all, so it's basically worthless to me. Like I only need the pieces that have practical value. There are a couple exceptions. But that's a pretty good summary of the rule I follow, I think. Okay, I don't even know what game we made it up to. The games are somewhat in alphabetical order, but I've also encountered an obstacle that's going to slow us down here, in that I knocked over my PS2 manuals and de-alphabetized them. So for every game now, just about, I'm going to have to flip through the stack of manuals to see whether or not I have one to go with it. So I'm sorry, this is going to be dreadfully slow. But that just means we get more time to hang out together, right? So I've got here Shin Megami Tensei, Persona 3 FES. Best Persona game, you say? I haven't actually played any of the Persona games. My best friend in high school, he played a couple of them, but I remember when Persona 3 came out, we lost him for a while. He was captivated. He fell in love with that game, the world, the characters. It was like all he lived for a good while. We've got God of War. Hold up our manual. and God of War 2. So for God of War 2, I've got not 2, but 3 copies. We've got a special features disc of some kind. And again, 3 copies. However, mystery of mysteries, I seem to have only 1 manual. I normally don't hoard excess copies of games. Sometimes for games, as a general rule, I tend not to have more than 2 copies of any given game, and usually it's rare that I have 2 copies of anything. So having 3 of this is very unusual. Grand Theft Auto 3. Got someone's name written on it in Sharpie, but I can't make out what it says. This is the first game, I think, first and I think only game that I ever played that I felt like it affected the way my brain worked. The first time I ever played this was at a friend's house. He had it, and we stayed up all night playing it, and I was just enthralled. We had so much fun. But the next day, as I was driving home, like, I was stuck in traffic, and I felt, like, deep inside that it was a viable option for me to climb out of my car and to steal another one so that I could get home faster. Like, I felt it strongly enough to where it was like I was reaching for the door handle subconsciously. Grand Theft Auto Vice City. So many great memories with this game. I think I've talked about this before, but like the soundtrack to this game, like it made. I played this game so much again with my friend, never even accomplishing anything, just wasting time, just causing mayhem for hours upon hours with no end. But I played it so much and it made such an impression on me, and the soundtrack is like so good. And now there are times where I'll be like out walking in the real world and like I'll be at a store and I'll hear one of the songs from this game on the intercom, and I'll get that sort of like weightless feeling of like falling in my stomach from all the time spent in this game, like ramping a car off the top of a building or something like that. Half-Life? Harvey Birdman. There are good. There are. Sorry, just a moment. There are a good number of discs in my collection, so not all of my discs are loose because I am the monster that jettisoned the case. A good number of them are ones that I actually purchased loose because I'm not above buying a loose disc, especially when it saves me a little bit of money. Okay, so we've got Jak and Daxter, the Precursor Legacy, which I think is the first game in this series. And what I was confused about is they've got a manual that just says Jak and Daxter. I think it goes with this. It doesn't have the Precursor Legacy written on it, but then I've also got a map that has the game's title on it. I think this is a map anyway. I'm going to unfold it and see. So far, not a map. Uh-oh. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe it's a poster. Oh, it's a map too. Okay. It's a bit damaged. Whoa. And about to be further damaged. That's kind of cool. That might be it'd be kind of fun to have that up on the wall, like next to your TV while you're playing the game. See if I can fold it back up without destroying it. Wow, this is actually really challenging. I think it's been folded back and forth a number of different ways over the years because it well, I think that's what weakened it in so many areas. Jack 2. And manual. Wonder why they dropped Daxter from the title. Because we've also got a Jack 3. As you've probably gathered by now, I do not know the PlayStation 2 library very well at all. Like I've collected all of these games, I've accumulated them. I've played almost none of them. I really got to make up for lost time here. And we've got Jack and Daxter, The Lost Frontier. And this one I don't think I have a manual for. And that's not even the last game with Jack in the title. We got, ooh, I think this is the last one. Jack X Combat Racing. Again, I don't think I have a manual for this one. Oop, I didn't take a photo. Okay, we've got the Incredible Hulk Ultimate Destruction. Nice comic book looking manual. Jet X2O. From the cover, it looks kind of like Wave Race meets Extreme G. I guess that's supposed to be like water, but instead of H2O, it's X2O because it's extreme. I wonder if there was like a vitamin water type product like in the 90s called X2O. And energy water. Looking at my GameCube games, The Hobbit is pretty good, you say. Yeah, I don't think I've played it on the GameCube, actually. I think I played The Hobbit on the Game Boy Advance. I don't remember thinking a whole lot of it. The GameCube one, I don't think I've gotten around to. Kingdom Hearts. I know there are a lot of people that love Kingdom Hearts, but like I've like heard explanations of the story of Kingdom Hearts, and I can't follow a bit of it. It sounds like one of the most complicated mythologies that of any media franchise. And Kingdom Hearts Chain of Memories. I want to love it, then I play it and think of the lore, and it stresses me out, so I stop playing it. It happened like 6 times. Yeah, that's kind of what I'm afraid of. And it doesn't help, like, it's not an incentive to me that, like, installments of the series are spread out across so many different platforms, either. Like, if I'm gonna play a series of games, I like to kind of have them all in one place. There's just so much. Okay, I think this is... I don't know how this is pronounced. Kia? Dark Lineage? And plus, I find you need to know all the Disney characters, so I want to go back and watch all the movies and then add the Final Fantasy characters. And now Disney owns Star Wars. Kingdom Hearts 4 will have Star Wars characters. Then Disney will buy WWE, and Kingdom Hearts 6 will have The Rock and John Cena. Veggie Tales, Larry Boy and the Bad Apple. And hold on to your hats, because you know I gotta have 2 copies of this one. One of the most annoying quote-unquote features of this app that I'm using is that if you misspell something and you need to correct a typo, you have to delete the whole line of text and retype it completely. You cannot edit like a single character. It is wildly inconvenient. Okay. Manhunt. I was looking this manual over, up and down, and I couldn't for the life of me figure out what game it went with. And Manhunt 2. It's kind of hard to not get a overwhelming glare on the discs. My apologies for that. It's kind of a necessary evil for me to take reasonable photos. And I can't be flipping the light on and off again and again and again. Multiverse Explorer. Welcome in, Explorer. Good to see you. I'm doing some repairs to IPI Star Trek TOS tricorder before heading off on the mail route. Glad to have you here. I think I understood some of those words. I'm not sure what IPI is. Sorry, that's Playmates tricorder. The communicator is from IPI Amatoric. Oh, Frownie, what did I do, Mile High Roll? Can you play ECW Hardcore Revolution someday? I mean, maybe. It's such a bad wrestling game. Okay, if it's a bad game, I was gonna say, you're not gonna get very good gameplay out of me if I do play it. I'm very weak at sports games of all types, pretty much. I don't understand a lot about sports. I don't know a lot about them, and I'm generally uninterested. But, I mean, I might be able to squeeze, an hour or two of fun out of it. If you're not expecting good things. BRB Hungry, you're gonna get some fried chicken. Oh, fried chicken. Oh, man. That sounds so good. I wonder if I can get fried chicken tonight. Maximo, Ghost to Glory. I understand this to be like a spiritual successor to the Ghosts and Goblins franchise, like a sort of Ghosts and Goblins in 3D, but not. I haven't ever really played them. I have the other game over there too. I wonder if I like them. I've got a manual. And weirdly enough, I have the case insert for this game. No case, but I have the insert. I guess I should buy a secondhand case or PS2 game and put it back together. Maximo versus Army of Zen. Again with manual. And again with case insert. My TRS-80 collection is almost complete. I just need the Model 4 now. What is it? TRS-80. Microcomputer system. Nice. Ooh, I like the look of the Model 3. With 2 disk drives? Are you kidding me? Oh yeah, the Model 4 looks good too. I don't know anything about it, but I like the style. Whoop. Radio Shack Tandy PC. Picked up an Atari 800 XL. I can home shoot you a pic of my Model 3 I got today and post to Discord. And the dirty ColecoVision. Okay. Capcom Classics collection. The surprised disc for me. Has Ghosts and Goblins, Ghouls and Ghosts, and Super Ghouls and Ghosts, and allows me to play them on the PlayStation 2. Most importantly, I like the port of Ghouls and Ghosts that's on here. The other games I'd rather play on the NES or the SNES. But they're not bad ports. I'm picking up a SNES Power Brick at my local game shop tonight so I could test the Game Genies. Excellent. Also, I found a box of games for $1. 4 or 5 Xbox games, 3 or 4 NES games, 1 Atari, and 4 or 5 SNES games for $1. You're unstoppable, Explorer. You find the best stuff. Mega Man Anniversary Collection. I think I also have this on the GameCube, but, I mean, Playing the classic Mega Man games with a GameCube controller is terrible. It's much better on the PS2. Manual, and just like the Maximo games, I've got the case insert. Okay, nice. This says, I had to double check, this has Mega Man 8 on it. That's good. This is my only way to play Mega Man 8. I've never played it, and don't expect it to be very good, because Mega Man 7 wasn't very good, I don't think, but... The 5 for the SNES came with F-Zero and the Mario Paint mouse. Nice. I've got Mario Paint, and I have a mouse. It needs a different mouse ball in it, though. My little sister, at some point, carved a smiley face into the ball of my Mario Paint mouse. I don't know what possessed her to do that, but... I mean, it still works, but it's not super convenient to have a... To have a mouse with a ball that's got chunks missing from it. And F-Zero I really want to play on stream, but I'm so scared to, because I know it's so hard, and I'm not very good at racing games in general, but I feel like it's one of those that I really do want to beat and get under my belt. And did you happen to look at the old school GameCube controller? Oh no, it slipped my mind. I haven't looked at it yet. Is it this one? It's called Old School Digital Controller. This song sounds a lot like a song by the band Tally Hall. I can't find an image of it. Here we go. Should look like a SNES controller GameCube buttons. Yeah, I think I found it, and it's got old school printed on it. It looks good. I mean, if the buttons are responsive and the D-pad works well. Like, with third-party controllers, I'm always worried that they'll kind of feel sort of cheap and not be very responsive. But at a look, it looks really good. I wish the buttons were laid out like an SNES instead of like a GameCube. That's sort of unfortunate that they stuck with the GameCube layout. Actually, I guess it wouldn't matter because A and B would still be in bad places. Either way. It'd be nice if they put the B button where the Y button goes. Like, now that would be a convenient controller. To have B above A. But, I mean... yeah, as long as it's like responsive and durable, it looks like it would be probably the best way to play GBA games. Okay, I need to... D-pad's very good by all third-party accounts. It's used by a lot of speedrunners. Yeah, I was just looking. I mean, I don't know how much you can trust Amazon reviews, but I was flipping through the reviews. They look pretty positive. One person suggested you might want to swap the membranes out, but without feeling it, I wouldn't really know what to think about that. But I mean, it looks like it'd be worth trying out. Mega Man X collection. It says Mega Man X through X6, it says. Do I have a manual? I don't think I have the manual for this one. I have the, again, I think this is the last of my case insert. Oh no, I'm wrong. I do have the manual. It was just hidden under another manual. I gotta retake the photo. It's as close as you can come to the Hori GameCube controller, and that's 200 plus right now. Yeah, I'm definitely not spending $200 on a controller. Like if I was a professional speedrunner where I was like drawing a salary from my speedrunning, then I would think about it, but $200 for a regular guy like me is pretty much out of the question. Did you ever see the Hori N64 controller? I did, and it looks good. I don't know that I would feel like I ever really needed to use one myself. I don't really have a problem with the original Nintendo 64 controller, and I've got one that's like I picked up a couple years ago that was new old stock. So for the moment it works really well. I might wear it out within a couple years here, but for the moment it's all right. Hey, it looks like we got a raid. I wonder if they're stuck behind a commercial. I'll give them a few moments. The N64 Retro Brawl controller is the Xbox controller for the N64. Yeah. I mean, if I did competitive gaming, I think I would definitely want it, but as it stands, I think I'm all right. Hey, I don't know if you can hear me yet, but Mazin, if you can, thank you for the raid. Welcome in. Hello to you and to your friends. I hope your 102% went well after I had to bounce. So yeah, we put a whoop. Hope I don't kill my stream here. Let me put a shout out for Mazin in the chat. For anyone out there, if you haven't gotten enough of me playing Castlevania Adventure and you want to see it done right, then then you want to give Mazin a follow, because he's the real pro at that game. I just went GoldenEye online multiplayer. I suck at the game, but playing with pals would be fun. That would be. I don't think it's very likely that GoldenEye will come to the Switch N64 online. It'd be nice if it did, but I don't think it will. Perfect Dark might, since Banjo-Kazooie is, but I don't know. I'm not gonna hold my breath. GoldenEye Reloaded was so good. I haven't played that one. I didn't really play a whole lot of the original GoldenEye either, though. Perfect Dark was more my thing. By the way, I'm deaf. I can't hear anything due to my stupid audio mixer thing. Oh no. Hey, I've got Mortal Kombat Deception. Continuing a sort of trend there. For someone who doesn't like fighting games and has never really played anything substantial from the Mortal Kombat games, I've played like an hour of the first one on Genesis. It is pretty much my whole experience. I have a lot of them in my collection. Okami? Onimusha 3 Demon Siege? I got it to work now. What is this space trance? So this is the this is music from Tetrasphere on the N64. I like it. It's a pretty good soundtrack, I think. It's not my usual kind of like it's not really my usual like go-to kind of music, but I kind of like it anyway. Did I raid you? I never saw any message on my screen. You did. You did, and I gave you a big thanks. Thank you again, Mazin. I put a link to your stream in my chat and told everyone to go follow you for that incredible Castlevania adventure action. Did you or your crew learn anything from my stream today? You know what? I did learn something and then I forgot it. Oh yeah, you told me to be braver when I fight the big knights in the last hallway. PlayStation Underground Jump Pack. I guess this is like a demo disc. Oh, it's Jam Pack. Prince of Persia, The Sands of Time. It's got like a big, like, I don't know, piece of sticker left on it from something. Probably want to get that off of there before I try playing it. Okay, we have a whole bunch of Ratchet and Clank games coming up here. First up, Ratchet and Clank. Just want to make sure the whip commitment only applies to the full power whip. Yes. On the 1 power, you want to do 2 double whips and retreat in between. I get a lot more PS2 games than I thought I did. I will leave you alone now. I really got to sleep after 2 days and a night awake. Oh my goodness, Maslin. Yes, get your beauty rest. Thanks everyone for the kindness, and see you next time. I'll see you again, my friend. Sleep well. Ratchet and Clank Going Commando. I kind of see all their subtitles appear to be innuendo/puns. They were really churning these games out. There's so many of them. Ratchet and Clank size matters. Got a manual for this one for a change. Ratchet and Clank Up Your Arsenal. Manual is sideways for this one. That's convenient, so that's how I like to photograph them anyway. And Ratchet deadlocked. No Clank this time around. See, we've been going for an hour and a half. Oh man, I thought I'd be through the PlayStation games by now. We got maybe 10 to 15 left, it looks like. Based on the manuals anyway. Maybe more than that if I've got a lot of disc only ones. There's a Red Dead Revolver. Resident Evil Code Veronica X. I didn't remember I had this. I remember when my friend got a Dreamcast and he got Resident Evil Code Veronica, and I remember him showing me the opening cutscene to that, and it just blew my mind. I thought it was just the coolest thing. Mile High Roll returns. Great to have you back. How's the fried chicken? Rock Band. I'm gonna break your heart. I can't play any Rock Band or Guitar Hero games on stream. I don't own any of the plastic instruments that you need. And I'm okay with that. And I'm okay with that. I'm not like I've played and had fun with these games in social settings, but I'm not really. I've pretty much had my fill of the plastic instrument games. If that craving ever does strike me, I can easily find all the instruments I need at a thrift shop for basically nothing. It's awesome. The chicken, that is. Oh man, I'm feeling pretty jealous. Shadow of the Colossus. I really like this game. I've only played through it once, but Man, it was magical. It's in the top 5 games of all time for you, right on. And they did a fine job with the remake. Shin Megami Tensei Digital Devil Saga. If I'm not mistaken, I believe this is actually like volume 1 of a 2-part game, but I don't have the second part. Silent Hill 2. And manual. Siren. Great horror game, you say? Is it? I feel like... Is this game somehow connected to the Fatal Frame games? I don't know if it's actually connected to that series, or if I just bought it at the same time, and that's why I think that. SOCOM U.S. Navy SEALs? You don't think so? It's probably just that I got them at the same time. And they're both spooky games, so that's why they got connected in my brain. Same director as the first Silent Hill game. The Sopranos, Road to Respect. This is the thinnest instruction manual I've held in a long while. I bet that is not a good game. That would be my guess. I don't know. I thought Wizards and Warriors was going to be pretty terrible last night, and I ended up kind of liking that game. Spider-Man 2. So, you know, a game can be bad and still be good. Stacked. I just put on some gameplay of the Sopranos game. Does not look awful. I'm not really in a rush to try it out, though. I don't really know anything about the franchise. I've never seen the show or anything. Spyro Enter the Dragonfly. The Suffering. Such a good show, you say. A prequel movie is coming soon. Star Wars Episode 3, Revenge of the Sith. Suffering is another fun game. It looks like another sort of horror game. Got a manual. It looks like they're going for like a somewhat spookier version of Manhunt or something. State of Emergency. Attack and the Power of Juju. I remember my friend loved that game, State of Emergency. Yeah, feel like this was like one of the really early PS2 games, right? Because my friend had a copy of it too. And the only thing I remember is like a whole bunch of characters running around a mall or something. Seemed like rather chaotic in my memory, and I kind of think that if I looked at it now, it would seem like laughably weak. For a PS2 game. If my memories of it are correct. I think we're on the last page of my PS2 games now. We're going to hold off. I do have a handful of PS3 and PS4 games, but I'm not going to bother inventorying them yet since I don't have the machines to play them currently. Same thing with the Xbox 360 games, though I am going to do the Xbox games. So if we finish up PlayStation 2, then we do Xbox, and then maybe next time we can do the NES games. I think that will be all of my streamable games. Oh no, there's in television too, but I only have like 5 or 6 games for that. Next is 13. Or the way the title is written, 1313. Tetris Worlds. I think I also own this on the Xbox. This is fun watching this. Takes me back to PS2 when I was 12 to 16. Excellent. I'm glad you enjoy it. With the manual. This my nostalgia for the PlayStation 2 is really limited basically just to the games that I point out. So this is very chore-like to me. So I'm happy to have other people along who are enjoying it. I'm not enjoying it, but it is a chore. Turok Evolution. Lara Croft Tomb Raider, The Angel of Darkness. PS1, 2, and SNES are what I played most. I was in the Army for a lot of the 360 and PS3 era, so I missed a lot of that. Yeah, NES through N64 are really my sweet spot. I played a little bit before that and a little bit after that, but pretty early on into the GameCube's life, I started college, and I didn't really pick up games again until the end of the Wii U. There was some 360 in there. I had a 360. It was mostly for playing Call of Duty, because I had a friend who was really into it, and that was my way to hang out with him, especially when I was overseas after college. But I didn't do a whole lot of gaming for a very long time. Oh, I have a Wheel of Fortune. Yu-Gi-Oh! The Duelist of the Roses. I think this is the final PS2 game. N64 and GameCube also. Never had a Wii. There's so many Wii games I never played. Yeah, so I have a Wii. I bought it. Basically, the only thing I ever remember playing on it is Mario Kart. Well, my Wii was pretty much a Mario Kart machine. I missed out on, I think, every other game on the Wii. And my Xbox 360 was my Call of Duty machine. Alright, and I think that's it. I think we made it all the way through. I have a manual for Killzone. I don't think I actually own the game, Killzone. So that's another one of those mysteries. Why do I have manuals for games I don't own? I couldn't tell you. I don't know how they enter my collection. Yeah, it doesn't look like I inventoried it and forgot it. Who knows? Maybe I'll come across it mixed in with some other set of games. Excited for the Metroid Prime trilogy coming to Switch? I don't think that's going to happen, Mile High Rule. I think you're excited over a Phantom. One of the cats hit it. I don't think that's ever been officially announced. I think that's just been rumored. Unless it got announced today or yesterday, I haven't heard anything about it. Not officially. I've heard rumors of it non-stop for like 2 years now. But I mean, Metroid Prime 4 was officially announced, and I don't think that's going to come out on the Switch. I think it might come out on the Switch, on the sequel to the Switch, whenever we get the Switch 2. Or, you know, whatever it turns out to be. But I don't think Metroid Prime 4 is even going to be a Switch game. Prove me wrong, Nintendo. I dare you, prove me wrong. I'd love to be wrong, but I don't believe in these things. I think they're fairy tales. I think I've got so many PlayStation 2 manuals, I actually have to split them across 2 bags. It hasn't been announced, yeah. That's what I thought. I have the Metroid Prime trilogy on my Wii U. I've never played any of the games. I have the first 2 on the GameCube as well. And I've heard mixed things about what the best way to play them is. Some people have told me that the Wii controls are best, and some people have told me the GameCube controller is best. And now I don't know what to believe. Alright, let me see if I can find my Xbox manuals, and we'll get rolling with that collection. It should be somewhat smaller than my PS2 collection. Okay, sorry for the long delay there. I kind of wandered all around looking at stuff. Xbox games. Number of copies. Number of manuals. Number number of boxes. Okay, there's basically no chance of me having a manual for this, but I'm gonna take a look. If I do, I got them separately somehow. No. So NCAA 06 football is our first entry. Okay, these should be fairly close to alphabetized. 25 to life. With manual. Blinks the Time Sweeper. Buffy the Vampire Slayer. And Buffy the Vampire Slayer Chaos Bleeds. Whoa. Crash Nitro Kart. That disc is really badly scratched. Crash Tag Team Racing. Crash Bandicoot has a lot of kart racing games. And Crash Twin Sanity. Could not eat all of my chicken, so some left over for midnight tonight. Chicken makes a great late night snack. Okay, we got Elder Scrolls 3, Morrowind. And I'm guessing these should count as separate entries. I also have the Game of the Year edition. I ordered 2 pieces and just noticed they gave me 3, only paid for 2. Nice. Life is kind of cool like that sometimes. Enclave. It's got a name on it. It says either Tweedle or Tweedoo. And Fable. Same person who owned Enclave, same name. And yeah, it's definitely Tweedle. I've got a separate manual. It says Fable: The Lost Chapters. I don't know if this has anything to do with this copy of Fable, or if it's a separate game, or what. Looks like the Lost Chapters is like a Game of the Year edition of Fable or something like that. But I think I only have the original. I think this other manual is just a excess. Okay, first to fight, close combat, or close combat first to fight. I can't tell. It's written both ways. GoldenEye Rogue Agent. Iron Phoenix. Legacy of Kain, Defiance. Halo. I've only played Halo one time, and it was with a friend, and we played like the deathmatch or whatever, and he got super annoyed with me because all I did was just kind of jump around like a maniac. Oh no, I have a manual for Iron Phoenix. I have to retake that photo. Yuck. And then I've got 3 copies of Halo 2. Two of them look like this, and they say live on them. This one does not. So I don't know if this is actually a copy of the game, or this just might be like a bonus disc. It says Limited Collector's Edition Disc. So I think this is not the game. I think it just goes with one of the copies of the game. So I think I have 2 copies of Halo 2. And this is like a special features or something. And I've got a manual. Don't know how is best to place these. Reshoot time. Kung Fu Chaos. Yuck, I've got to reshoot Halo 2 because now I found something else that goes with it. John Halo, my favorite video game hero. He's a pretty cool guy, right? He wears a helmet and doesn't afraid of anything. Marvel Ultimate Alliance. Do you have one of them cases on hand? I want to see what the fancy cases you talk of. I don't know what you mean, Mile Hyrule. Fancy cases? That game is pretty rare now. Ultimate Alliance? I didn't know. I don't think I have any Xbox games in a case. I think all of my Xbox games are loose. Max Payne. When you put your discs in. Oh, yeah. So they're like boxes like this, and it's got a drawer that comes out. And then they're just in these hanging sleeves, but they feel really nice. These boxes are heavy. They've got a metal frame built into them. So I've got 4 boxes like that. I've got my GameCube, Wii, and Wii U games in that box. I've got a separate one for PS4, PS3, and PS4 and PS3 games, and I've got one for Blu-ray discs, or I've got 2 for Blu-ray discs. Blu-rays, though, I mean, Blu-ray discs are durable. You could put a Blu-ray through a garbage disposal and it would come out alright, I think. Need for Speed Most Wanted. Yeah, they're nice. I bought them secondhand. Those cases, I bought them secondhand from a guy who worked as a professional DJ, and so I was like, well, this guy, you know, he uses CDs for a living, and if these cases are good enough for him, then they're good enough for me. That's for sure. And when I got them, they actually had all of his CDs in them because he was selling them because he digitized all of his stuff and didn't care to have a backup, I guess. So he sold them to me real cheap, and they're full of music. But I mean, wasn't really anything I was interested in. There are some classic rock albums that are pretty good, but it was just mostly a lot of just sort of mainstream type music that didn't really do much for me. Good Need for Speed game, you say? I'm hoping for a Most Wanted remake. It will surprise no one when I point out that I have not played it. Oddworld, Munch's Odyssey. Well, we got lots of stuff to play on stream, you know it. And I believe this is 2 copies of this game. One Platinum Hits, one regular. I think they're both, like, I don't think it's a bonus disc situation. I think it's 2 different copies. And manual. Set a goal to beat every game you own on stream. I mean, that's kind of the plan. I don't know if I'll beat every game I own, but I at least want to play every game I own. One of the things about VG Collect that kind of annoys me is it's really like specific in its listings for items. Like it'll have separate entries for the regular version and the Platinum Hits version, and then it'll have separate entries for like different copies of the same game that have different like barcodes for some reason. Like they're like just for different pressings of the same game or something. And yeah, I mean, like, I know really picky collectors care about that kind of stuff, but I don't care about that kind of stuff. If all the content in the game is the same, I don't care what it says on the box. So I'm not always 100% accurate with Tom Clancy's Rainbow Six 3. I'm not always 100% accurate on my VG Collect with which specific edition of the game I have. If I don't see any noticeable difference, I just tend to pick the first one. You know, something like whether it's Platinum Hits or regular, I'd probably pick the right one on that, but for the little stuff like regarding numbers that I can't even find because I don't know in the cases, I'm not going to sweat it. I have a goal to get 100k gamer score on Xbox by the end of the year. I challenge myself to beat 52 games every year, though. Started that in 2014, did it twice in 2018, and this year I am past it, mostly because I had 4 months off work and less hours because of COVID. I like CLZ, I think it's called. But now the less hours are gone. You've gotta pick shorter games, Mile High Rule. I don't really set specific gaming goals like that. I mean, I think I've already... I mean, you gotta consider I play a lot of short retro games, but I think I've already passed 52 games this year myself. I've been keeping a record in the Discord of games I beat, and then sometimes with like different like special challenges that I beat. But I don't number them, so I've got no idea. But it might be close to 52 at this point. Okay, RoboCop. I try to read 12 books a year. I've been doing really bad at that this year, but in general I try to read a book a month. I don't think I've finished a single book this year. I've started a couple, but I don't think I've finished any of them. What does this say next? What's going on? In 2016, you beat 5 games. That's a pretty low score. You only finished a few this year. Make a list and a ranking of all the games I beat since 2014. Nice. I probably wouldn't rank the games that I beat. I'm not very good about that. Like if he asked me to make like a top 10 games or something that I like, I would have a very hard time putting them in the particular order. Scooby-Doo, Night of 100 Frights. I keep wanting to lay the disc down shiny side up. That doesn't do a whole lot of good for my photos. You read Fight Club every year and a couple of others. Not a ranking like a score out of 100. There's no science behind the number at all. Soul Calibur 2. I think we've got less than 10 games left now for Xbox. I have Death Stranding at 110 because 100 was too low. Tom Clancy's Splinter Cell. Metal Gear Solid 3 and 4 got 100, and Shadow of the Colossus got 97. They are my highest scoring games. You beat the Splinter Cell series this year. Well, speak of the devil. Star Wars Jedi Knight Jedi Academy. Terminator 3, The Redemption. Chaos Theory still holds up, you say? I don't really know anything about the series. After the chicken, you're tired and don't want to move. It can have that effect on us, can't it? Alright, I've got Star Wars, The Clone Wars / Tetris Worlds. What a weird... Like, why? Why these two games? What do they have to do with each other? I'm gonna put them in my inventory as two separate items. do the Terminator photo because I have a manual. NES games next, you said? Yeah, but not today. I'm actually in pretty much in overtime now. So if I do inventory tomorrow or Friday, then it'll be NES games. I'm just trying to get through the Xbox games, and then I'm probably gonna wrap things up. We're getting right to the 3-hour mark now. And I gotta eat and take a nap before tonight's stream, or I won't make it. What are you streaming tonight? Tonight we're going to do Space Station Silicon Valley and Castlevania Symphony of the Night. We're going to work on both of those. I don't know. I haven't decided if I'm going to do anything at the top of the stream or not. I'm leaning toward not. So it'll probably just be those two games tonight. But we'll see. I might throw something else in at the end, a run through Ninja Gaiden or something. Oddworld: Stranger's Wrath. True Crime, New York City. Great game, you say, for Stranger's Wrath? I haven't played any of the Oddworld games. I seem to have quite a few of them, but I don't have the first one. They have a remake come out for the Switch. I didn't know it was on the Switch. I heard that they remade the first one. They called it, I think they call it New and Tasty. I also heard that it wasn't as good. True Crime, Streets of LA. Okay, and I believe this is my last original Xbox game. Voodoo Vince. So you can see I'm ending real strong here. So let's see. How many games in the collection? That brings my totals. So PlayStation 2 games, I own 82 games on the PlayStation 2. And I own 36 on the Xbox. So yeah, considerably smaller collection. And yeah, so of the consoles I can stream, I think that only leaves NES and Intellivision to do. I think everything else has been done. I said PS3, PS4, and Xbox 360. I have games for each of those consoles, but I don't own the consoles, so I can't play them, so I can't stream them. So it's not really vital to inventory them yet. I think we've been through everything else. Voodoo Fans. Yeah, I think it's Intellivision and NES is all I have left, but I have a ton of NES games, so like I've probably got like 120 NES games, maybe more. I don't know. Let me see. Let me just see. I can take a rough count because I can see most of them from here. 70. So 72 plus 72 plus 50 is 132, and 135, 38, 40, 10, 20, or no, 3, 6, 9, 10. Maybe 140 plus. Not quite 150, it looks like, just glancing around the room. They're difficult because I have them displayed in 3 different parts of my room. They're not all kept together, so I'll have to gather them. But I think that's it. Fun stream. Thank you. Thank you. I'm glad you had a good time, and thanks for staying here and keeping me company. I really appreciate it. Because like I said, I have fun. I have fun doing this, but it's also, you know, it's kind of tedious, kind of a chore. So it's good that I don't have to do it alone. So thank you very much, everyone who's been viewing the stream. Your company is always appreciated. Thanks for chatting with me, Mile High Rule and Multiverse Explorer. And anyone, if I'm forgetting you, my apologies. I'm wearing down. Mazin, thank you for the raid. If you want to stay on the line, let me see if anybody I know is streaming. If anybody I know is doing something interesting, we might finish off with a raid. I gotta get me some food, but I'll lurk in someone's stream if they're up to something good. Wow. Not a whole lot of people on, at least not from my circles. See you tonight. Oh yeah. Just for anyone who doesn't know, so my regular schedule, I usually stream at nights, 11 p.m. Central Time till roughly 4 a.m. Fairly frequently I roll into overtime. I stream almost every night. Saturday's the one big regular exception. Yeah, and tonight we're gonna play. Normally I play games, I don't just look at them. Tonight we're continuing. I'm playing through Space Station Silicon Valley on the N64 for the first time, and I'm also doing my first playthrough of Symphony of the Night, Castlevania, and we're gonna try and make some progress in both of those games tonight. And like I said, there might be something else thrown in there too at the end of the stream. A quick playthrough of something I like. We'll see. Um, yeah, no one that I know really well is streaming. There's a couple people, but I'm not really interested in popping in on what they're up to. All right, my friends. Well, you know what? I think I'm going to pass on the raid. Sorry I kept you waiting for nothing, but I think I'm going to pass on going for a raid, and we'll just wrap the stream up. Who's this? Oh, you have a suggestion, Mile High Roll. Let me look at them. You know, at least one person who comes here from time to time also watches this person. All right, well, we'll do it. We'll raid this. We'll raid this person. So this is St4, I guess is how it's pronounced. Playing Mass Effect 2. I know nothing about the Mass Effect games, so I'm gonna be pretty useless on the other side of this raid. But yeah, we'll drop in. I'll listen to you. So this is not a streamer I know, so the usual disclaimer applies. I do not necessarily endorse the streamer's content or personality. We're gonna go in and hope for the best. I might toss them a courtesy follow. That is also not an endorsement, but just a general politeness. And yeah, we'll see what we see. But if there's anything horrific on the other side, that's on them and Mile High Roll, right? No, that's on them. Don't blame me. Don't blame Mile High Roll either. Each streamer is responsible for their own content. All right, here we go. So one last time, thank you for being here, my friends. Like I said, I greatly appreciate you. I hope I get to see you again. But for now, I'll just see you on the other side of the raid.